Yo, what is up everybody, it's your boy Dyson, and I am back with a brand new video on Shin Godzilla. So without further ado, you already know what time it is, let's get it. Shin Godzilla is the most recent Toho Godzilla behind Godzilla Minus One. So, I thought with Godzilla Minus One coming out as of recently, we should do a video on the legendary Shin Godzilla, aka Godzilla Resurgence. This version of Godzilla is a colossal daikaiju that is actually the incarnation of suffering, pain, and wrath. This is a Godzilla that is near unstoppable and that honestly keeps evolving as if it is the personification of evolution, the incarnation of evolution itself. Shin Godzilla continues to undergo a metamorphosis until it is at its peak in terms of what we saw from it when it reached its fourth form. This is the second form, Kamada-kun, if I'm saying that correctly. And then we have Shinagawa-kun, which is the third form of Shin Gojira, aka Shin Godzilla. And here in real time we are witnessing it undergoing a mutation. It's undergoing its evolution, changing rapidly. Shin Godzilla, similar to a character or creature like BVS Doomsday, continues to evolve and adapt. It was said that in the 1950s, radioactive materials were exposed to some sort of marine reptile or amphibious reptile that actually mutated it and created Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla's fourth form is known as Kamakura-san, or Kamakura-san, the fourth and practically final evolution of Shin Gojira, aside from the fifth form, which we would see briefly at the very end of the film. Shin Godzilla arrived and caused massive amounts of chaos. He wreaked his havoc without having to really do much, at least immediately after his arrival. The military began to throw everything that it had at Shin Gojira, but Shin Godzilla just simply would not fall and would not give in or collapse. It is said that Shin Godzilla only truly roars when he is in pain or distress. He stands at 119.8 meters or 393 feet tall. And in the atomic death scene from Shin Gojira, we actually get to see the process of the atomic breath as the powerful blast is fired, initially ignited and shot out before condensing into a laser-like beam, a condensed ray of superheated radioactive energy that is purple in nature. This was a very unique and interesting version of the atomic breath, one that no doubt stuck in a lot of the Gojira fans' minds. This attack is known as the radiation heat ray. Similar superheated rays or beams can be shot from between the dorsal spines and from the tip of the tail. Although Shin Godzilla expels a lot of his energy while doing this attack and can only hold the attack for a certain period of time, the beams appear to go on for what seems to be an eternity. They seem to be infinite in nature, slicing and burning directly through whatever they come into contact with. And as we see here, Shin Godzilla weighs 992,000 metric tons. Shin is a walking tragedy, a creature that is in constant agony and anguish, one that fights back and actually tries to get back at the humans for what they've done to it personally. Although the humans are only defending themselves as this creature came onto land and began destroying everything in its path. The fifth evolution of Shin Godzilla, aka Shin Gojira, is actually the humanoid Gojiras that crawled out from the tip of his tail along the length of it at the end of the film. This is Godzilla's committee, Shin Gojira's army. And what's terrifying about it is that Shin Gojira nearly managed to succeed in overthrowing humanity as the #1 dominant species on the planet Earth. And then if you'll take a look at this concept art here, you can see that there was a concept that was unused in the film where Godzilla would effectively multiply, splitting into two. Now, fast forward to 2023, and we have Godzilla -1. A Godzilla that is much smaller than Shin Gojira, but nonetheless powerful, with extreme abilities such as an atomic breath, the likes of which seem unmatched in recent memory. Now, I have spoken extensively about Godzilla -1 in my previous videos. His height is around 164 feet, roughly. And unlike Shin Godzilla, which seemed more like a force of nature and a presence than an actual individual, this Godzilla seems to have a lot of personality and seems to really have a vendetta and a need for revenge against humanity. This seems like a movie that will be very interesting. It's a film that has been released in Japan, as it is a Japanese Toho Godzilla film. And over in Japan right now, a lot of people are calling it a masterpiece. So I can only wait for its release in America, you mean? I will definitely be checking it out, and I cannot wait. I was definitely a fan of Shin Godzilla. Now I'm definitely hyped for this. Anyway, it's been your boy Dice, and I'm outie.